80% of people have microplastics in their blood, and it can also seep into our organs, causing chronic illness issues. When I've started reading about how skincare brands largely and majorly use microplastics in their product.
We ignored asbestos until it was too late. We have drank lead-tinted water for decades. But what if I told you there's something far more smaller inside us right now? Welcome back to Inside Your Skin podcast, where we uncover the truth about skincare that no one's telling. And I am your host Vaishnavi, and today we are diving into a ticking time bomb that has been quietly building up in your bathroom shelves, in your bloodstreams, and yes, in your skincare too. And joining us today, we have Aradhana Chatterjee, a passionate content creator and an environmental advocate who found her voice at a very young age. Through her compelling content, she actually inspires her audience to embrace conscious living and sustainable choices, proving that meaningful changes are all about awareness and actions. So welcome, Aradhana.
Thank you, Vaishnavi. Thank you so much for the kind words you just mentioned. And it's a very big privilege, and I'm grateful to be here so that I can share my thoughts, my learnings to the audience so that it can aware more people and bring a lot of impact.
We're so glad to have you here. So Aradhana, what I've seen through your content that you've been talking about microplastics for a while now. जबकि वो एक Instagram reel worthy या let's say Instagram trending hot topic भी नहीं था. So what actually brought you to talk about this particular topic?
Okay, so I have been creating content since the last 2 years, and since when I've started working with brands who are working on sustainability, I mean real sustainability, not just by the term of it, I have gotten so much knowledge, so much information, and I've seen firsthand that the kind of impact that plastics and microplastics have on our environment and on the planet. And along with that, I've also visited dump yards, and I've seen how the people who stay around landfills, how their lives are affected, and what kind of diseases they have in their system. And all of it has really inspired me to also cut down my consumption on a personal level. And I can say that I am more mindful about making choices, and I want to also advocate for the same things, and I want to put this out to more people so that people also can make better choices. And we are humans, we are learning every day. So yeah.
So Aradhana, what was your moment of realization when you felt कि ये सिर्फ एक environment related issue नहीं है, बल्कि एक human health related issue है?
See, if I'm talking about plastics or even for say microplastics, when I started, so first I started knowing about plastics in the food packaging industry, and how even the paper packaging that we use, they are lined with plastic to keep the food warm and to stop the oil from pouring out. So that is when I started researching about that where else this is creating a problem. And then I also got to know that it's majorly present in skincare brands. Skincare brands majorly use this microbeads, which are like primary plastics in their skincare products for exfoliation and for making the products thicker. So that really made me think that what are we doing, and how are consumers and brands together responsible to change this for our future. While I was researching about all this, I found a lot of studies, then they were very shocking and at the same point interesting. So there was this Orb Media who has termed microplastics as the invisibles, and how they have said that how they are present in our tap water, in our bottled water, starting from New York to New Delhi. And there's so many studies about who the World Health Organization, they had published a report on how 80% of people have microplastics in their blood, and it can also seep into our organs, causing chronic illness issues. So that has really educated me into creating more awareness, and that has really made me think that I think only when we treat the problem of microplastics a personal issue and not an environmental issue, only then we can solve the problem. कि आप किसी को बोलोगे कि you have microplastics in your blood, or maybe the water you're drinking has microplastics, they'll be shocked. But then microplastics are not very dramatic, like forest fires हो गया, या फिर you cannot show people, they are kind of invisible. So it gets a lot of time, it takes a lot of time for it to get registered in people's mind. So when personal level पे आप किसी को बोलते हो कि you are consuming plastic, so that is when it really registers in the mind of a consumer or any person in general. That's what I feel.
So when you actually started talking about it आपके early days में, so was there any resistance? Like what was the pattern? Like how is it different? Like जब आपने बात करना शुरू किया था 2 साल पहले और अब उसकी रिसेप्शन में लोगों का क्या पर्सपेक्टिव रह रहा है?
See, honestly speaking, it's not very long since I started, but obviously there is, लोग पहले जितना बात करते थे माइक्रोप्लास्टिक्स के बारे में, प्लास्टिक्स के बारे में, अभी उससे बहुत ज़्यादा है, but it is not enough. That's what I feel. And I think that is because plastic is very dangerously convenient for us. It's cheap and can be caked into any product. So I think पहले जो होता था सस्टेनेबल प्रोडक्ट्स, ब्रांड्स आर ट्राइंग टू ओनली मेक सस्टेनेबल प्रोडक्ट्स. नाउ व्हाट दे आर ट्राइंग टू डू इज दे आर मेकिंग देम कमर्शियली वायबल ऑल्सो, बिकॉज इंडिया एज अ कंट्री, इफ वी मेक सस्टेनेबल प्रोडक्ट्स ओनली फॉर द रिच, then it won't do well in the market. So sustainability should be for everyone to use and access. So it should be accessible. I think this is something which has changed. पहले जितना brands उनको एक expensive तरीके से उसको brand करते थे, अभी I think it's changed. I think people are working, they are getting government aids and a lot of other things to make it more commercially viable, ताकि सब को उससे मतलब सबको एक्सेस मिल सके, सब वो चीज़ खरीद पाए. आई थिंक ये बहुत ज़्यादा चेंज हुआ है. एंड पर्सनली मैंने भी बहुत सारे ब्रांड्स को डिनाई किया है टू कोलैबोरेट इफ दे आर ओनली एंड ओनली वर्किंग ऑन सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक्स. तो आई थिंक ये सबका पर्सनल, इट शुड बी अ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू एडवोकेट फॉर द कॉज, आई थिंक.
So now that you've been talking about it for quite some time, so for your personal life, let's say आप अपने personal life में कैसे navigate करते हो when you're choosing, let's say, a skincare product, or let's say you're using it into your food related items? Like what is your personal lifestyle? How has it changed?
So I don't have a very wide range of skincare products that I use, but since when I've started reading about how skincare brands largely and majorly use microplastics in their products, I think I've also been very mindful, and I've been very disappointed knowing that there are maybe a handful of brands who use plant-based polymers in their products, Laping being one of them. And I was very skeptical when I read that you guys use a completely microplastics free formulation range, because I have not read or heard it anywhere. Because there are brands who are using it maybe, but to a certain point in their products. I think it's because maybe it's very easy to achieve the polymer based products, and I don't think India has the technology yet to make skincare products which are completely free of microplastics or maybe polymers. So I think,
so after knowing about it, so now do you make a conscious choice, or let's say effort, avoiding such products into your daily routine?
Absolutely. So after knowing the kind of impact that if I wash my hair with a shampoo which has majorly polymers in it, and the microplastics are going through the water stream, and if I'm doing my laundry, my clothes, so I've been very mindful in everything I do, even for my skincare products. So I try to read about it, and I try to learn more about it, that which brands are majorly using plant-based polymers, and I try to inculcate that into my routine. I certainly follow it, yes.
So what we have been hearing from all these years is that plastic pollution, which is related to ocean, or let's say water pollution for that matter, but अब हम बात कर रहे हैं वो उनके हमारे ब्लड स्ट्रीम में जाने का. So if you could just help us and let's say help the audience understand and break it down for them कि microplastics actually में होते क्या हैं and उनका effect क्या होता है.
So if you have to ask me to define the problem of microplastics, I would define it as an invisible ticking time bomb, because 10 years, 15 years earlier, we were only talking about them being present under our oceans or maybe in landfills. But now it has traveled its way to our food, our water, and even in the human placenta. So, in a very recent shocking study, I read it that, microplastics have been found in human placentas. Imagine in our minds that would be the most protected place in the entire planet, and today even there we are finding microplastics. The study shows that out of 6 women with normal pregnancies, in 4 women we are finding, microplastics in human placentas. So, that itself proves that even before a baby is born, microplastics are being, present in their system. And not only that, study by WWF, it has shown that, there's a very interesting data that, we as humans, we are ingesting more than 5 grams of plastics per week, which is like equivalent to that of a credit card. So, these are just numbers when we speak about, them as a data. But when we face the same problems, like we are facing chronic illnesses because of this, I think 10 to 12 years down the line, the effect will be so huge that I think there'll not be any going back. So, that this is the time that we should, put our foot forward, and we should take responsibility and, stop it right here. So that is why I called it an invisible, time bomb. Yes.
That's really shocking. अगर माइक्रोप्लास्टिक्स हमारे ब्लड स्ट्रीम्स में जा रहे हैं, सो व्हाई इज इट नॉट अ ग्लोबल हेल्थ इमरजेंसी येट? आई मीन, what are we waiting for?
I think, because like I said, plastics are, dangerously convenient. So, also I mentioned is, they are not very dramatic. Like, people are so much consumed with topics like climate change. I think they are a lot of fatigued with topics like climate change, forest fires and deforestation. So they don't treat this problem as a major problem. Also, this is very slow to act. That's what I feel. The problem of microplastics going into our bloodstreams or into our bodies, it is a very time-taking process. Like, it will show the effect through years. It is not like it is hitting you right now and abhi aapka koi you are getting a big illness and then you are succumbing to it. I think it is taking a lot of time to go into your bodies and cause a very bad, illness to you. I think that is one reason that, people are not talking enough about it. And I think the plastic industry is very profitable, तो इतना जब profits होता है कि industry में, it is very difficult कि change makers जो है वो उस एक segment से बाहर आके कुछ बोले या फिर उस बारे में advocate करे, because if there is not enough support, तो वो करना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है. I think that is one reason why it is not being spoken enough.
So people are not really abhi concerned. They're waiting for that time, then they'll maybe start thinking about it.
I think plastic is a bigger problem than asbestos. How? Because asbestos was like only a building material. So if we just ban one building material, so we are done with it. But then plastic is something which is there everywhere, in our skincare, in our food, in our water, in the soil, everywhere. So, it is, I think, it is a bigger problem than what asbestos is. And it is not long, till we get to the end and we find out that what kind of impact it is creating to us, as human beings and to the planet in general.
Also, Radhna, I feel we are in the era where we are talking about clean eating. एंड वी आर काउंटिंग मैक्रोज. हम ये देख रहे हैं कि प्रेजर्वेटिव्स हमारे फूड में हैं या नहीं है, बट हम अपने स्किन केयर के प्रोडक्ट्स, लेट्स से हमारा पर्सनल केयर का जो भी प्रोडक्ट है जो हम डेली अप्लाई कर रहे हैं, why are we not checking the labels of it?
So, I would like to say that we are not in an era of clean eating at all, leave alone our skincare products, because we only focus on organic farming and stuff. But the products are coming wrapped up in plastics, and I feel we as Indians, we are very deeply rooted in sustainability to its true meaning. Like, we are focused on nature, we sell Ayurveda and to other countries. So when other countries can achieve it, I mean, why can't we? It's just, I think it's just very lazy on the part of regulations and on part of consumers and on part of manufacturers to not talk about it. So, talking about skincare brands, I think जितना भी बात हम लोग food packaging में plastic के बारे में बात करते हैं, उससे भी कम हम लोग बात करते हैं skincare में जो plastics present है. Like, plastic based polymers like copolymers and all of that. So, we don't even realize that because not enough people are talking about it. So, it has become like a very common and very habitual thing for us कि हाँ, skincare products will have this, because there's not enough brands who want to take that effort to make plant-based polymers, to give out that same output, or there are not enough people who are pushing the technology. Also, I feel that there are there's a lack in the place of technology. Not enough people are coming up with technologies to help skincare brands to help make products which have plant-based polymers in them. So I think this is a reason why very few people are talking about it. I think it's very convenient, you know, and it's very it has become like a habit to us, you know, that we are very used to using a certain thing and we are not realizing its impact until it really affects us.
Like अगर आपने सिर्फ अपनी पैकेजिंग चेंज कर दी, आपने उसको फैंसी बना दिया, it doesn't make that you can still put microplastics which are so harmful in your ingredient. That's what I understand of.
Yeah, so you know, I would really like to talk about this. Like, you know, I've seen so many skincare brands who send their products in eco-friendly packaging. That's how they term it. But what we don't understand is the products, the ones that we are putting on our skin, you know, they have so much, you know, plastics in them, microplastics, the plastic fibers in them, that we don't need to worry about the packaging. We have to first worry about the ones that we are directly putting on our skin, directly putting on our body. I think that needs to be addressed first, and then we can talk about the packaging. And even, you know, I've seen many brands, like one of the reasons I don't you know, accept too many PR packages is that the brands will send this big packages, the product, it can be any product, it'll be in the middle, and it'll have so much, you know, plastic fibers around it to package it well that it doesn't make sense. Like, you can only call yourself eco-friendly if even your formulation is eco-friendly, you know. If you're taking that effort to, you know, use plant-based polymers to enhance your products, it doesn't make sense if you're sending me your products in a eco-friendly packaging and the products itself are harmful to my skin. Because as I have read about it, the skincare products which use plastic-based polymers, they form a barrier, they form a layer on our skin, and it really harms our skin ka barrier, you know, and even, you know, it will make our skin so compromised that, you know, it will be prone to all kinds of problems and skin diseases. I think that is something we should really be aware of.
Also, if you could make me understand, if you could help me understand कि अगर इसका इतना adverse effect है microplastics का, so brands जो आज के हैं date में, let's say bigger brands also, why are brands still struggling to remove it from their products, or let's say from their formulations? Why are they still putting it in?
Like I said, you know, I think it's very convenient for people to just follow what they've been following for years, and when there's not enough people to talk about it or to, you know, go against it, you know. And I think that, like I said, the technology, I think it's expensive to you know, go ahead with plant-based polymers, to have them in your products. I think that is one reason that, you know, brands don't pay that much attention, but they are paying attention outside India, you know. So India as a market, you know, I think we are very docile as humans, you know, we don't question much. I think that is a big factor, you know, that we don't question much, we don't go way too much against it, and I doubt that how many people know about the fact that, you know, our skincare products majorly have plastic-based polymers in them.
And I feel we as consumers unknowingly, हम daily basis पे ये अपने products लगा रहे होते हैं personal care के, and हम ये भूल जाते हैं कि I think they are not nourishing us, but they are causing more harm. So what do you think? Like, how should a consumer be more conscious about what they're using, or let's say what they're applying to themselves?
Consumers, if you're talking about consumers, they will really, the money factor will really matter to them. So, you know, when we can make plant-based products equally like commercially viable, like the plastic-based products, I think only then consumers will really move towards it. Like nowadays, whatever आप मान लो कि पैकेजिंग हो गया, स्किन केयर ब्रांड्स हो गया, जो भी products हैं market में plant based, they are way more expensive than the plastic based stuff in the market. Like if there's only one brand making plant based polymers wala skincare in the market, then obviously the cost will be much. And if there are 100 more brands who are making the same product using plant based stuff, then obviously the competition will be large and the prices will come down. So I think more people should start doing it, and once the prices come down, because prices are a very big factor, because it's very easy for us to say, you know, that we'll go and buy a 2K skincare even if it's like 500 more, but it doesn't play that kind of game in the minds of a consumer. We'll always, no matter what, we'll always think what the price factor is. So, you know, I feel the day plant-based products equal the price of plastic based products in our market, be it anything, be it packaging, be it skincare, I think that the consumers are going to be really up and forward to go and buy those products. Like talking about your brand, I really loved about it कि you have priced the products in such a way that it can kind of match the products which are already there in the market. It's not very expensive for people to go and buy them. Like it's people are not going to think 100 times should or should I not buy that product. So I think more brands should do the same thing, make plant-based products and also price them in such a way so that it's possible to consume for consumers to go and buy them.
And I think that is when it will actually make a bigger difference.
Because if there's only a part of consumers going and buying products which are plant-based, it's not going to make a huge difference. So like I said, the product range I was seeing, you have shampoos, you have face wash, everything, and I was checking the prices also. So it was very convenient for compared to the generic brands that are there in the market. It's not very expensive that people will think twice to buy. I think that is very important.
So Aradhana, now we'll be playing a fun segment, Factor Cap.
Okay.
So I'll be asking you a few questions related to skincare or let's say related to microplastics, and you tell me whether it's a fact or it's a cap.
Ready.
So the first question, microplastics only harm the environment and not humans. Fact or cap?
Cap. Because पहले हम ऐसा बोलते थे कि प्लास्टिक पानी में जा रहा है, ओशंस में है, टर्टल के पेट में जा रहा है, why is it a problem for us? But now it is there everywhere. I mean, there are legit studies which are shown and there's data. It's present everywhere, in our bottled water, in our tap water, everywhere. So it's certainly a big lie.
If a product is labeled natural, it's microplastic free. Fact or cap?
Cap. Because I feel कि nowadays brands only label their products eco-friendly, packaging को ज़्यादा advertise करते हैं, but in their products there are microfibers, plastic fibers involved. So that is not a fact.
Microplastics in skin is too small to actually create the damage. Fact or cap?
I think cap. Because any harmful thing that we keep on applying to our body, to our skin, it is bound to create a very negative impact on our body, on our skin, if it's skincare. So it's certainly a big lie that it's not a huge impact, because once we see the impact, then only we are able to judge.
Plastic packaging is the only plastic problem in skincare. Fact or cap?
Cap. Because like I said, the packaging is not even the problem. So it breaks down into small plastic fibers. That is true, but skincare mein the products that we are directly applying to our skin, even they have plastic based polymers. So I think that is what we should address first, and then we should address the packaging part of it.
Microplastics can disrupt hormones. Fact or cap?
Fact. Because like I said, there have been so many studies conducted by universities, conducted by organizations, which have proven that it can cause chronic illness and it can lead to so many diseases, unwanted diseases in their human bodies. Yes.
So Aradhana, हमारे previous conversation में आपने microplastic को as a ticking time bomb बोला है. So what do you actually mean by that?
Yes, I've called microplastics a ticking time bomb, an invisible ticking time bomb, and that is because it's really invisible. We don't see it making the kind of impact it does to our bodies. 10-15 years शायद थोड़ा we consume it and then we can see the impact it makes. So talking about plastics, पहले जो हम 10-15 साल पहले बात करते थे, we were only talking about plastics being present in the oceans या फिर landfills में, but अभी जो microplastics के बारे में हम लोग बात करते हैं, वो it directly is concerned with what is happening inside our bodies. वो direct हमारे शरीर के अंदर जा रहा है. That is invisible, like it is not very directly seen through the human eye. So लोग समझते नहीं है. Even if I am giving them a data, वो it'll sound so unreal to them. कि oh my god, am I consuming 5 grams of plastic per week, which is equivalent to that of a credit card? That can't be possible. It sounds too unreal. And like once I visited this plastic recycling factory in Dharavi, in one of the slum areas. So वहाँ पे एक part में there's an entire population who works on the plastic segregation and plastics जो mineral packaging bottles होते हैं उनको they recycle it, and they do it without any gear, without any masks, without any protective things. Okay, so there's a big machine and वहाँ पे constantly the plastic bottles are being churned into smaller bits. like big plastic chunks are being made. Imagine the kind of the amount, millions and millions of microplastics which are going out in the air. And it is true, there might not be any solid data like a written study on the internet that it is causing cancer. There might not be, but it is true that people who are being exposed to microplastics, who are working with plastics without any protective gear, they are not living long, and they are getting cancer and other issues like that, big issues like that. So I think if that is not a reminder to us, I don't know what else is.
So Aradhana, जैसा कि आप बता रहे हो कि हम 5 milligrams of plastic consumption I think daily basis पे कर रहे हैं, and daily हम tiny doses एक तरीके से ले रहे हैं. So आपको क्या लगता है आज से आने वाले 10-20 साल में क्या हो सकता है?
See, taking the example of how asbestos was before and how lead problem was, वो हमको समझने में बहुत time लग गया, and we took a very drastic step only when there was irreparable damage. So why wait till we reach that level where it is creating a problem? And for asbestos, it was just a building material, but यहाँ पे it is like concerning our entire ecosystem. It is in our food, our water bodies, our skin care, everywhere. We are applying it directly to our skin. So I think that is way more alarming than the issues we had in the past. So why wait till we reach the place where asbestos and the lead problem reached, and not stop it here? I think that is what.
Okay, so tell me, what is that one consequences जो हम already देखना शुरू कर चुके हैं microplastics के?
So there's a lot of things I have read, and the most shocking one which I found is microplastics are being found in human placenta. I think this is what is alarming enough. So like I said, it is true that microplastics का जो effect है वो हमको in reality देखने के लिए we have to wait for 10-15 years, or that's what scientists and other environmentalists have to say. So my point is, why wait for that long कि जब तक और studies आए market में, there are more researchers working on it. So, and why go to that day when the damage is so bad that we cannot undo it anymore? So I think the fact that microplastics are being found in our drinking water, in our tap water, in our bottled water, in human placenta, in our bloodstream, I think these aren't alarming enough for us to take a step to stop it, and not wait for the next 10-15 years. We will have 100 studies, but we'll have been we have done a damage which we cannot come back from.
Exactly. What do you think? Like, what's scarier? Like, that it's already happening, or nobody is talking about it?
See, for this, I would like to make a statement which I really feel from within, that we are not reducing and we are not stopping the maximum use of plastics simply because we don't want to. See, suppose 100 skincare brands are stopped by the government, that you have to make plant-based polymers your priority. Imagine the taxes which will be reduced, everything, the whole economy will be affected. So I think people are very lazy. So government bodies and big organizations, they should take responsibility of funding and aiding startups who are working their best to shift from plastic based products to plant based products. Because if they are not aided by the government, if people only think about themselves, tax के बारे में सोच रहे हैं, money के बारे में सोच रहे हैं, then 10-15 years later we'll have done a damage which we cannot go back from.
What I understand from you, what I have seen you, like, you're so young, you have that fire in you, like you actually want to make the difference. But while doing all of that, or being that, I can understand like how difficult it could be for you. So in this years of you, while you've been working so religiously, has there been any moment, or let's say, has there been any incident like where people actually try to stop you from doing what you're doing right now?
See, from an environmental point of view, no, but there's a similar scenario which happened with me. So I was doing a video. There was this dumping ground I visited once. So there now, it is one of the largest dumping grounds of Asia, and there were children, 3-4 years, 5 years children who were exposed to medical waste, open medical waste, okay, and they were handling it without gloves, without anything, and I got to know that is a source of their livelihood. So those are the moments, and I was trying to capture the fact that children were sitting on the dumping grounds. They were just in shorts, nothing on their bodies, obviously no masks, no gloves, and they were dealing with medical waste, open syringes and masks and all of that, gloves and medical waste, like medicines and all of that. So when I tried to go ahead and record it, I was vehemently opposed and stopped by the locals there, because and the local authorities also have stopped people from filming that area, because apparently that is creating a lot of awareness.
मुझे जैसे समझ में आ रहा है, I think all of this kind of actually acts as a catalyst for you, like while you're working, right?
Yeah, absolutely, because the more you get opposed to something, someone opposes you to do it, so the more you realize that that maybe this is exactly what needs to be told, and that is the reason why they don't want to you to shoot it and all of that. So whenever people stop you from shooting something or creating content for that matter, or advocating for a cause, you should know that maybe it needs to go out, and that is why they are stopping you from doing it.
So with all the conversation that we have had, what I understand that we as consumers, we actually need to start to rethink the way we consume and the way we have built our routine. But consumer ही क्या करेगा जब we are thrown words like clean, green and all those sustainable buzzwords. So according to you, what should be the first thing, let's say वो पहला क्या चीज़ होना चाहिए जो I as a consumer should look before buying any product for that matter?
See, I feel as a consumer, you should always turn your product at the back and see what ingredients are being used in your products, and not go for the marketing gimmicks that brands do. They will label it paraben free. They will write in big fonts on the front of the packaging, but when you look back, you see a different thing, because they will hide the microplastics under a big marketing word. So I think people should not fall for those, and they should be very individually aware about what kind of products they're using, and like I said, to see the ingredients, that what are being used, the components that are being used in their products. I think that is one way, and to ask questions. Once you ask questions, only then you get answers.
Also, you coming from a creator industry, what do you think creators could actually make an impact? Like what they could do little differently, where they actually start influencing the audience in the right direction?
I think it's high time we get another food farmer in the skincare industry. So consumers don't read their cosmetic labels as much as they do for their food packaging labels, thanks to him. So there will be more talk about it, and there should be more people who should advocate for the cause, and I think only then that the common people, the consumers, can also be aware of the same.
And I think it's not just industry specific. There
Yes.
should be food farmers in every industry.
Yes. For example, when I go to suppose a gathering or maybe a meeting or a conference, I've often seen people going up, they want to drink water, they feel thirsty, so they will go to the filter 10,000 times, and they will use 1 cup each time, and they will think they are paper cups, but they are not paper cups. So I think as consumers, the first main thing that we can do is bring down our consumption. Suppose even if we want to drink water, we should not go to a conference and use 10 cups. We might feel कि I'm just one person, मैं जाके 10 cups use कर रही हूँ, क्या ही हो जाएगा planet को. But ऐसा नहीं है. When we do it on a large scale, it really affects the environment, and we don't even realize कि एक conference में 1000 लोग होते हैं, and 1000 लोग are using 10 cups each, which are not even paper cups, because cups with plant-based linings inside paper are not very rampant and not very widespread in the market yet because of their cost factor. So yeah, as consumers, I think we should lower our consumption and keep it where it should be, and not over-consume products.
So according to you, what brands can actually do differently, I mean at formulation level and not just at the packaging?
I think first people should stop, like brands should stop, focusing on their packaging part. And because that is easy to do, so maybe they do that. So they should always and more focus on the ingredients and the components they're using, rather than putting the focus on packaging. Yeah, there should be focus on packaging to use sustainable packaging, but the one field where there should be more awareness and more focus is what components you are using in your products. And just because then you have a very open market to deal with components which might be illegal outside India, it is not that you have to use them. So I think that is where brands should really, so talking about a brand like yours, so earlier we would have said that achieving something like this is like a miracle or maybe rocket science. But if a brand like Laping can do it for such a young startup, is I think 2 years you've started, so I think it's why not big brands can also follow the path and do the same, given they have better technology, better funding and better consumer base. So I think it just needs that click and that responsibility taking attitude to go forward and make these changes rather than just sit back and relax. For example, I've seen these reels which got viral, where many dermatologists and many experts were claiming that the house remedies that we use, for example, haldi mask and maybe besan mask or chandan mask, they are not of any use to our skin or for our face. I mean, that is not right. I mean, I feel that it has been used for ages, and like I said, India in its true form is has had a very sustainable way of living. We have had coir, we have had bamboo, and we are selling Ayurveda to the market, to the foreign market. So it is not something impossible that we cannot achieve. Especially for India, I think it should be the easiest for India to achieve if we can take care of the cost factor.
So now that we've been talking about it, so I also want to understand from your lens, like what should an ideal microplastic free lifestyle, let's say, should look like. Let's say, for example, kind of foods that we are using, the kind of personal care products that we are using, or let's say anything we're buying for that matter.
See, I think practically it is not possible for us. We are living in a plastic age, and it is not possible for us to go completely plastic free or microplastic free. The lens I'm wearing inside my eyes is made of plastic. The fiber in my sunglasses is plastic. Okay, and so it is not practically possible to completely go plastic free, but we can surely bring down our consumption. And there are certain parts where we can be a bit mindful, like not carrying our own bottles and using products which don't just claim to be eco-friendly but are eco-friendly in its core, and which are widely available in the market also. So I think that way every person can take that individual step to reduce the use of plastics as much as they can in their lives. There's a startup which I got to know about. They are planning on bringing steel containers as part of food delivery, how they can make the entire food delivery system into a steel thing, like jaise dabbe mein khana jata hai and all of that. So I think this is a very nice idea of creating a circular economy. It is not so nowadays. People are very people find it very convenient to use and throw items, like once I use and then I throw it. But even if it's sustainable, even if it's eco-friendly to its true form, we don't see it getting properly recycled or properly degraded, broken into small forms, or maybe used in the later half. They just die alive there only. So I think as consumers, we should be mindful and not over-consume.
A massive thank you to you, Aradhna, for coming here and helping us go beyond the surface and making us understand the deeper and scarier truth about microplastics.
Thank you so much for having me over, and thank you for having this conversation. And I'm not sugarcoating this, but thank you for curating a brand which is finally talking about it, finally talking about microplastics in the skincare industry. Because I feel it's the only reason we don't talk about microplastics is it's very inconvenient for us. I mean, several studies have found microplastics in our clouds. So what more do you need, and where else do you want to find microplastics?
We have been here before with asbestos, with mercury in our makeup, with lead in our paint. We have waited too long for the damage, and we have waited too long. But this time the problem's even smaller, like invisible for that matter. But the cost just as real. So the next time before applying something on your skin, stop and ask a question to yourself. Is it safe for what's inside you? And if this episode helped you see skincare differently, go ahead and share it. And do not forget to subscribe to Laping's YouTube channel, because future of skincare is actually what's going inside your skin.